No, I took over in January 2022. I presented my credentials to the King in the first week of February, which was immediately after I reached here. And this 1 year, 8 months, or 10 months that I have been here has been wonderful. I have discovered Spain as being a place where India should be able to do a lot of things. Fortunately, unfortunately, we have a very good relationship with Spain. We have no problems, but the relationship can become much better because there are a lot of people in Spain who don't understand what is the potential of what we can do with India. A lot of people in India also, when they look at Europe, they look at other countries, they don't look at Spain so much. So in the last 1.5 years, we have been able to bridge this gap, to be able to bring companies together, people together, industrialists, business people, politicians, members of parliament, academicians, universities, cultural people, films, all of them together to try and get people in India and Spain to know each other better. See, the challenge, like I told you, is only about information. The information in Spain about India is limited, and the information in India about Spain is limited. People don't know each other. I can give you many examples. For example, let's look at the defense. Very few people in India know that Spain is one of the largest defense exporters in the world. When they talk about Spain, they think about beaches and fiesta and vacation and olive oil. No, not even olive oil. That they think of Italy. So they don't even think about, we know about Spain, about wine. So knowledge in India about Spain is very limited. Same with Spain. When Spain looks across the world, they don't see what they can do in India. They think of an exotic country. They don't see a country where you can do business, a country which is at the forefront of technology today, which has which has landed on the moon, So people know very little. In fact, the moon landing was the first time that there was so much coverage in Spain about India. But knowledge is happening. Those who know. There are a lot of people in business, academia, and in politics who know what is India. But the large number of people do not know. So that is my biggest challenge, is to be able to educate people about the different aspects of India. They all know India, but they know India like Indians know Spain. They know India about yoga, about culture, about Bollywood, about other things. But they don't know about the technology, the commerce, the business, and the strength of India. So that's my biggest challenge. See, India and Spain relations are very good. We have no problems between us. We have no issues which are creating any problems between us. But that is not the point. A relationship is not built upon no problems. A relationship is built upon having something more than just not problems. So we need to build that relationship where we can trust each other, where we can do business with each other, where our companies work with each other, where our trade grows to a very high position. India is still very low on the Spanish business environment, and Spain is very low on the Indian business environment. So all these things need to get together. When our parliamentarians know each other, when our politicians know each other, that is how we get a relationship. I always tell this. Spain was the first European country to find a route to India, sea route to India. Christopher Columbus left Spain to find India. And still Spain is trying to find India. Spain still hasn't reached India. He went to the new colonies, the new America. He founded America, but Spain is still trying to find India. And so I think my job and your job and all of us is to help Spain find India and India find Spain. No, there is a lot of things we had planned. For us, the G20 presidency was a way to show the world where India has arrived. Also to focus the G20 on issues that are important for the world. The G20 started with an economic and financial basis. Over the years, it has become more political. So we wanted to bring it back to its core issues. How do we resolve the world's economics problems? How do we resolve the world's financial problems? How do we resolve issues of sustainability, of environment, of green transition, of digital transition? All these things were issues that we wanted to focus on. And we got the G20 to focus on it. And we had hoped that the EU presidency, the Spanish presidency of the EU, will be able to work together on areas of common concern between India and Europe, which is, again, green transition, digital transition, sustainability, and supply chains, making supply chains more resilient, more stronger, and more important, to work together on issues between us, like the EU-India Free Trade Agreement. We are working on it, but unfortunately the Spanish presidency, because of political issues in Spain, has not had the capability to be able to do many of the things. Spain is ready, willing. Whenever we talk to people, they're ready and willing. But I think the situation right now, the political situation is such that we have done a lot, but we could have done more if not for that. No, let me tell you. I understand your question. It's the most populous country, not popular. I'm very happy if it is popular. It's the most populous country in the world. And we are also the 5th largest economy in the world. We will become the 3rd largest in due course, because given our population, our economic growth, it is natural that we become big. India is going to grow whether anything happens or not, because the situation is very ripe for us. We have the right combination today. And if you look at the world today, everybody else is having a problem of GDP growth. We are the only ones with high GDP growth, low inflation, high employment. Everything that is positive is happening together at the same time. So in a way, we are doing very well. Population-wise, we don't think population is a burden. We think population is an asset. Every country in the world increased their GDP, their economic growth, their prosperity whenever their population was growing. We have a very young population. And if we manage it right, and I'm sure we will manage it right, because our Prime Minister, our government, everybody is focused on how do we train, educate, and make our people skilled enough to take on the world's problems. So I think if we manage it right, India's population will be a big asset for the world. Even today, if you look at India's population, you look at Indians everywhere. You look at the CEO of all the top companies in the world, whether it's Microsoft, Google, Chanel, Starbucks, any company you name, is all Indians sitting on top. All professionals are Indians, are doing very well. Indians are a very big community which every country wants to attract, because they are talented, intelligent, hardworking, and they do not create social and political problems in the country they go. So in a sense, India is there, it has arrived, and we are sure, with us being the 3rd largest economy and the most populous, we will contribute to global economy as well as to global stability. No, it's not a challenge. In fact, we are growing slower than what we expected. Even though we are the fastest growing large economy in the world, we need to grow much faster if we have to give to our people the benefits of progress, of economic progress. And for that, the government is working hard every day. For us, the government has really put in place policies, systems, new ways of working, a global approach, which is making it sure that the Indian economy grows as fast as possible. But we live in a globalized world. And for us, our growth also depends on how the global economy is doing. We alone cannot grow just by ourselves. We are linked to the world. And so we want the world to grow better for economic progress in other parts of the world. And because of that, our growth is being limited, because economic growth globally has slowed down. Europe is slowing down. Many countries in Europe has recession. Many countries across the world have suffered because of the war in Ukraine, where fuel prices, food prices, fertilizer prices have gone up. The war now in Middle East is also going to create global problems. So all this has an effect on our economy. But despite that, we are still the fastest growing economy in the world. So you can imagine how faster we can grow if the global problems were not there. With Spain, like I told you, our relationship are very good. We have our trade relationship has reached almost $8 billion. We have hundreds of Spanish companies and Indian companies working in each other's place. We're focusing on everything from engineering goods to chemicals to IT to mobile communications to CGI, VFX, defense, you name it. Every field we have a close collaboration going on together. There are some new areas which we are working on. Like I told you, defense is a new area we are working on. Space is a new area. So these are things which we are working on. So overall, the relationship is very good. But like I told you, very good is not enough. It has to be excellent. We have to reach the stage where we can be better than what we are today. No, see, we are doing a lot of things together. We do it with a lot of agencies across. We do it with the Basque agencies in País Vasco. We do it with the Catalan agencies in Catalonia. We do it in Valencia, in Madrid. I just came back from Ceuta, where we did an event. We do it in Malaga. We do it in Andalusia. We do it everywhere. So for Zaragoza and for Aragon, the main important thing is let's work together to do some events to tell people of what we can do. Zaragoza is an industrial hub. You have a lot of industries in Aragon. So let's work together to see what we can do. We have a lot of information we can give. We have just launched a new Indian Chamber of Commerce, whose work will be to help companies understand India better, to do matchmaking, to be able to advise them on different issues, and to be able to work as a place for networking and to get to know more information about India. So hopefully we will have an Indian Chamber of Commerce meeting in Zaragoza, and we can work together with Go Aragon to do more events together about India and Spain. See, the general advice to any businessman is the same, whether it is India or any other country. Do your due diligence, know your market, and do your research well. Find out what it is, the product that you want to sell or buy or produce or do anything. Get your banking channels clear. Get your financial accounts clear. Hire the right people. These are things which is normal that you advise anybody else. With India, I can only tell you today that India is a growing economy. It is at a stage where it is launching itself. So for any Spanish companies which wants to be global, you have to be present in India. Don't make the mistake many countries are doing of waiting for India to grow much bigger before they come in. You will be giving away space. You have companies from Europe, Germany, Italy, France, UK, Netherlands, all these companies sitting in India every day. Spain needs to do the same. Spain should not miss out the opportunity to take advantage of the India growth story. And so I invite all companies, if you have any requirement, any need, any information that you need, you can come through Go Aragon or you can come directly to the embassy and we will help you get it. See, right now Spanish companies are focusing on infrastructure, on renewable energy, on a few other issues. So engineering goods, on chemicals, on pharmaceuticals, on IT. These are the things we are focusing on right now. But the future belongs to defense industries. Like I told you, very few people know about the defense industry in Spain. And Indian defense industry also is looking for partners to build products and equipment and processes for us and for the future. So we are looking at Spanish companies. We've just placed an order with Airbus Spain for about 56 aircraft. We are negotiating for submarines and naval ships. We are also looking at missiles, at guns, at equipment, at radars. There's a huge field. And these are things which we can work on. We want also for Spanish companies to set up their factories in India to produce this, because for us, we prefer to be make in India than to be buying them from abroad. Similarly with space technology. Space is something which is very big. It's a new frontier. Tomorrow's future is space, both real space and cyberspace. Both space and cyberspace are the future. In space, as you know, India is a big space power. We just landed on the moon when other countries failed to land on the moon. But people don't know that Spain also has a very strong space industry. That there are companies which do satellite launches, They even have launchers, rocket launchers. They have earth navigation technologies. They have ground stations technologies. So a lot of things Spain has. So the ability to work together between India and Spain in the space field. I can name you many things. For example, audiovisual. Cinema production in Spain is very big. India is a very big cinema producer. We produce almost 3,000 films a year. So we have a situation where we can both work together. We are working together, but we can work much more together in computer-generated informatics, in VFX, in, today all the Marvel, Disney, all the big movies, 60% of it is generated in computers. And India is very strong at it. The gaming industry is very big. You have a very big gaming industry in Spain. So all these things put together, there are a lot of new frontier areas that we can work on. But the traditional areas will also continue. Textiles, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, so everything will continue. But we have new areas that we can focus on. There are two kinds of Indian people. One who came long time back and have become Spanish citizens. They mostly came from an area in India called Sindh, which was, so they are Sindhis. They came in the beginning and they are the ones who helped build up Spanish economy. So like I was in Ceuta, in Ceuta everybody says everything was built by the Indian business people. The Canarias, in Malaga, in Barcelona, in many places. These are the old hardworking Indians who came here, became Spanish citizens, and are today a very strong force here in Spain. But today the new businessmen who are coming in are into every field. Also a large number of professionals have come in. Professionals who work in the IT field, in pharmaceuticals, in engineering, in management, in human resources, in chemicals, in pharmaceuticals. All these people who come in, they love Spain. Not just because it's a great country to live in, but because the people are nice, we share the same cultural traits, we are family-oriented people who are happy with working and enjoying at the same time. So Indians who are here really enjoy Spain and love this country. See, I will tell you, there are more people coming to study than before, but it can be much more. If you look at it across the world, Indian students go abroad to study a lot. In Germany, it has increased to a very large, more than 10,000-15,000 students go every year. In France, in Netherlands, of course, UK, US, Canada, Australia were traditionally the places Indians went because of the language. Spain, we have about 2,000 to 3,000 students, which is very little, given that Spain has very good universities. Spain needs to work hard to attract more Indian students because Spain has a talent requirement, skills and human resources. And for that, attracting Indian talent is very important. Spain is doing that. We now have a delegation going this month from the CRUE, from the universities, to go and talk to Indian universities to see how we can bridge the gap. The biggest problem always has been the language. Spain insists on the Spanish language, which is good. But today there are a lot of Indians learning Spanish. The Cervantes Institute in India is the biggest Cervantes Institute in the world. And they're opening up more branches in Mumbai, in Bangalore, in other places they will open up. So hopefully there will be a large number of Indian-speaking, Spanish-speaking Indians who will be able to come and take advantage of the education system as well as working in Spain. Okay. No, India has a big talent pool of very educated, qualified, efficient engineers, doctors, technologists, you name anything. We have a very big talent pool. But the point is, even if it's very big talent pool, there's a big demand for them because India is growing, the world is growing. Like I told you, Indians are at the top in every company. You look at any bank in the world, whether it's Santander here or Citibank or any other bank, full of Indians, even here in Santander. If you look at, or in Kaisa or in any other place. So Indians are in big number, in big demand across the world. If Spain needs it, they need to work on that. They need to attract human talent from India. So for that, you need an environment where human talent can come. And for that, we are discussing with the government to sign something called a migration and mobility agreement. If we can get that agreement together, we will be able to get the best of talent here without the immigrant problem. So this will be legal migration and not illegal migration. See, I find a lot of Spanish people know a lot about Indian culture, but mostly the Indian culture that they look at is yoga, meditation, spirituality. These are the things many Spanish people know. I find there are millions of Spanish people, mostly girls and women, who do yoga, who do spirituality, who love the Indian textiles, the Indian jewelry. For us, jewelry is one of the biggest items of export to Spain. Textiles is very big, not just Inditex, but so many others at every level. So there is a lot of appreciation, but also music. There's a large number of Spanish people who love Indian music, who love dances, both the Bollywood dances as well as the classical dances, theatre. So you name it. The culture is not at all an issue between India and Spain. Spanish people know Indian culture very well. They watch Indian movies, Indian films. I was surprised when I came in here to see that Indian films are in the theatre here. I never thought, because we don't have such a big Indian community, I thought maybe films will not come, but the Spanish go and watch Indian films in a big way. Similarly, in India, Spanish culture has already started becoming very, very popular. It is not just Spanish, because earlier when they said Spanish culture, it was a combination of Spanish and Latino culture. Everybody used to think it's the same as Spanish culture. But now there is a greater appreciation of Spanish culture. During the pandemic, a lot of the Spanish films became very big hits, and the TV serials like Casa de Papel, like many others. In India, everybody must have seen it. And when you say everybody's seen it, means you're talking about 1 billion people. So already there is like I told you, the Cervantes Institute is one of the biggest institutes. Everybody knows about the flamenco. Films are being shot. So there is a lot of cultural cooperation between India and Spain, which is not happening at the level of government, but at people to people. That is the reason it is more sustainable, because government you need to push, but with people it happens automatically. So it's a very, very good and close relationship. Tourism, we are growing, but our internal tourism is growing more than external tourism. So we have a lot of people from within India who travel. I will give an example. Externally we get very little. We get about 12 million or some tourists. But internally it's more than 250 to 300 million. So you're talking about very large number of internal tourism. So we are focusing on making our tourism sites better. We have a lot of wonderful tourism sites. We have everything. We have heritage, we have adventure, we have environmental, we have mountains, we have skiing, we have desert, we have everything. And so the whole idea is to make whatever we have into proper packages for our own people to travel inside, and for outsiders also to come in. But with Spain, we have a very close collaboration in tourism. A lot of Indians come every year to Spain. In fact, now Spain is one of the most popular destinations for Indian people. Spaniards go to India a lot, but not in that many numbers, because I think the Spanish vacation time and Indian vacation time clash. Our vacation is mostly in winter, your vacation is mostly in summer. So the ability to go in summer to India is very hot. It's like Cordoba, so not easy. So we are working together on a lot of things on tourism together. We are collaborating a lot on tourism, but spiritual tourism, wellness tourism, for wellness, for Ayurveda, for treatments, for yoga, for a whole lot of things. A large number of Spanish travel, but Spanish also go for retail tourism, which is shopping tourism. So you have a large number of Spanish people who go to buy things from India, shopping for clothes, for jewelry, for other things. So in a way, the tourism has a large amount of potential, and we are already working a lot on it. Our only issue has been lack of, like I told you, lack of direct flights right now, and the difference in the timing. So our peak season is winter, your peak season is summer, so it becomes, I have been here almost 2 years, and I think I've traveled to every part of the country, including to your region. I don't think so there is any part of the country I have not gone. I've gone from the Canarias to the Balearics to even the enclaves in Ceuta and Melilla to Galicia, Asturias, País Vasco, Castilla y León I go many times, Andalusia, Catalonia of course, and of course Aragon. Aragon I have gone to Zaragoza. I also go once in a while to the monasterio, to the waterfalls, Monasterio de la Piedra. I go many times through Aragon whenever I visit, but I haven't done a formal trip to Zaragoza as yet. I have gone Zaragoza to visit, to meet companies. There are few companies which are working there. I've gone to your defense establishments for training and other things, but I have not had a formal visit, and I would love to come soon and visit Zaragoza. The most I like about Spain is the Spanish people. I really love the Spanish people. They're very nice. They are warm. They're family oriented. They talk to you openly. They have no bias. They have no no discrimination in their thoughts. They're very loving, very affectionate, and we get along very well. I have a large number of Spanish friends. In fact, this is the only place I know where I have more Spanish friends than Indian friends. I have really large number. And we keep on going everywhere, traveling together. We meet up. So Spanish people I love. Spanish food I am delighted. I love food, and you can know from my health that I've been eating a lot. The Spanish food, I really like Spanish food for everything, because I eat everything. I have no limits on what I eat, so I like food and Spanish food, and it is so different. I mean, the comida gallega is very different from País Vasco to Andalusia to the Canarias, and even Castilla y León, for example, or in Castilla-La Mancha or Aragon. I've eaten everything from habali to cochinillo to lechal to everything, and the vino. So for me, the people, the food, and the wine, a lot of things. But I'm used to now learning new things about the country I go to. So because you are learning new things, you miss less. But India, that is, like I told you, why I feel very happy in Spain is because it reminds me a lot about back in India. The same kind of friendship, the same kind of love of food, late night dinners. Everywhere else you go, they eat dinner at 6:30, 7 o'clock. In Spain, not before 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I like that, because it's like in India, we eat very late also. I think because we are hot countries, we wait for the sun to go down before we eat. But I find it very comfortable here in Spain, so I miss India less when in Spain. But about India, what I miss again is the people, the food, the friendships. So these are the things you miss about your own country, and of course your family. But for me, I'm happy. My family, my wife is here with me. One of my daughters is in the US, another daughter in UK. So we are closely here, and we can meet each other. So in a way, I'm very happy here in Spain, and I'm looking forward to coming to Zaragoza, to meeting all of you, and to doing some events. Because while I like traveling, and I travel a lot, I travel for work. So for me, I combine both the travel to see a new place as well as to work in that same way. So thank you very much. This was a great opportunity to meet you, and I hope Go Aragon continues to do well.
We hope so.
And I hope you have the support of your provincial government, because that is important, because you are a good ambassador for Aragon, and people need to know that Aragon is a place and not just a character in Game of Thrones.
So I would like to ask you.